Lexus moved over to the Chicago Auto Show. You all know about the GSF, the high-performance version of GS from Lexus. High-performance sedan go up with the German rivals like the Audi RS6, E63 AMG from Mercedes, BMW M5. It looks very nice in this blue, the F blue that they always put on their F cars. Nice exhaust setup at the bottom. And then we also have the brand new LX top spec luxury SUV from Lexus. The counterpart to the Toyota Land Cruiser is all new this year. I think it's the best use of the Lexus spindle grille to date. I think it looks beautiful. I know a lot of people don't like the look of current Lexuses, but I think this looks amazing. Definitely one of the best looking luxury SUVs on the market right now. Probably take a look at the inside of that later on. And the other big news you can see behind me here is the new LC500 coupe in red. Lexus's new flagship sports coupe. It's going to start at around $9,000 when it comes on sale. Obviously derived from the LFLC concept we had a few years back. 2 times I had 2 editions of the concept. I think this also looks amazing. Great work on the front design, the grille, the crease, and the headlights, the wheels. Everything is very, very close to the concept spec. Even the wheels are about the same design. The mirrors are obviously different, but the interior looks great as well. You see sort of like a cockpit setup in there. It's very, very nice. And I'm sure they've already announced the hybrid version of this car, but I'm sure there's going to be an F Sport version as well for the high performance enthusiasts. But even the base version is beautiful, I think. Love the rear design. It's got that latest trend in the auto design world with the floating roofline, where it has the blacked out B and C pillars back there to make it look like it's got the floating roof disconnected from the rear area of the fender. Just a great looking car. It's going to be a strong competitor to the Mercedes SL class. And they've got the tub here hollowed out so you can look at.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chicago International Auto Show, and welcome to the Lexus display. My name is Brian, and I would like to take a moment to introduce you to the newest member of our performance and luxury line here at Lexus, the all-new 2018 LC500, our luxury coupe featuring a 5-liter V8 engine, naturally aspirated, delivering 467 horsepower and 389 foot-pounds of torque. And that, of course, means to you that we have a 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds. Now, those are just some of the highlights to get your attention. This car you may have seen before, and if it looks familiar to you, you have a good eye and a good memory. Just a few years ago, we had a concept car, the LFLC Luxury Coupe, had its own concept those years back, and if you notice, most of what you saw in that concept is being represented in this model today. The inspiration for this car harkens back to a similar time when you saw maybe a performance car that we built that perhaps you also recognize as our LFA. If you know the LFA, bring that car up in your mind and you'll see a lot of the design language and a lot of the genetics that built that car into this LC500. We'll begin talking a little bit about our design language, and we'll start at the front of the car. Right here with the front grille, and unmistakably Lexus, our iconic front grille, the front spindle, that you'll see in all of our models, well represented and reimagined for this automobile. Sharp bike fascia and a nice curve down. As you look, use your eye and we'll follow along. We'll find a familiar shape. What is this shape but? The Lexus L. And that's why we have this grille that we do today. But we'll follow that L throughout the rest of the car, including the daytime running lamps, following back through our headlamps here, down the line of the car. And once we get to the belt line right where you sit as the driver, this is a point that I'm very proud to have the opportunity to talk to you about. Where you sit as the driver, the hip point of your position in the seat is in the center of gravity of the automobile. For those of you who are into performance racing, or even just performance driving as a whole, you know the importance of balance in an automobile. So we're dealing with a 52-48 split to the front to the rear, putting you almost dead center on the middle of the car, giving you better control, better balance, which means better performance. Now, controlling that, falling all the way back, you'll notice these L's still being well represented into our tail lamps. I'd like to take a moment to bring your attention specifically to the tail lamps. They have a unique design. And that design was inspired after the afterburners of a jet engine. We're using a few different mirrors to produce an infinite, continuous visual that gives the illusion that this truly is the rocket ship that it is, with the speed to go along with it. With that speed, our control mechanism to distribute the power down to the wheels on down to the ground is a 10-speed direct shift automatic transmission. For the first time in a luxury coupe, we're seeing a 10-speed, lower revs, better fuel efficiency, better control over the power, allowing you to have more control over the automobile. And since we're dealing with top speed over 180 miles an hour, that's control that you would want. Now, speaking of over 100s, I'm sure you're wondering what the price point is. It's probably the most common question I receive, so I'm happy to give you that information. The starting point for this automobile will be just under 100 to start, with a few options, and I'd like to point out some of those just now. So here's one, for example, another example of where the genetics of the LFA have woven their way into the automobile. The roof, as you might be looking, is made of carbon fiber. The carbon fiber that you see before you is made by the same loom that created the entire fuselage of our LFA. Now, this is an option available to you if you did not want the carbon fiber. The standard is going to be a panoramic roof, and this is to allow the maximum amount of light, natural light, into your cabin as you drive. Inside the cabin, you'll see a very handsome interior. We call this color sand, and it's also matched with Alcantara, which is very similar to a suede, which is the texture you're seeing as well. Within the cabin, the dash cluster also inspired by the LFA, customizable, and with a floating bezel, just like we've seen in that supercar. Even the pedals that you'll be driving with inspired by that LFA as well. Even down to the ground, what is it sitting on? None other than an optional 21-inch wheel, but 20s are going to be your standard. So either way, not too much they're going to add on to this car. So as you buy it, plenty that's going to come with it sitting in your driveway. Now, if you have any questions about this or any of our automobiles on the entire product line, please ask. My name is Brian, or any one of our excellent and very qualified
there's
product
just a brief
specialists
introduction
here on the show floor. And make sure to pay attention. We'll be having a narration shortly, just over with our friend Scott, as we talk about the GSF, one of our brand new and available today performance pieces onto the GSF.
And then we have a few other showcases here at the Lexus booth.
For a Lexus
There's the new
Inform
RX
demonstration, our infotainment unit, the next generation of which will be featured in this LC500.
That's about it over here at Lexus. So
Make sure you learn all about
lots of things happening over here for the brand.
Lexus. And thank you so much for joining us here at our
Thanks for
display,
watching.
where we